This is for you, Sherry. All it is just a basic tea bag fold, but with circles instead of squares. For a 4x6, for a 4x6, you will need 8 2-inch circles. For a 5x7, you will need 8 2.5-inch circles. If you do a 6x6, you can use 8 2.5-inch circles or 8 3-inch circles. So I'm gonna turn you down so you can see what I'm doing. Hopefully that'll work. Okay, I am doing a 5x7, so I have 8 2.5-inch circles, and I am using double-sided paper. I do think for this design it makes it prettier, but you wouldn't have to use double-sided paper. If you don't have it, that's fine. And I'm using my Graphic 45 Flight of Fancy. And I'm inking my edges. One, to get rid of the white core, and if there's any imperfections, the ink will cover it up. And it just gives your card a nicer look, and it also does make your papers stand out more. And if you hear rumbling, we are getting a nice thunderstorm. So what I suggest is you take 4 of them and fold them in half. And give them a good varnish. Okay, so I got them 4 folded. So the blue side is showing. And then take your other 4 and fold them in half the opposite way. That way it's going to save you time and you're not going to get confused. And have to end up refolding because you got a couple too many going one way, because this is what makes your design. Okay. Okay, so I've got 4 going with my printed side up, and I've got 4 with my plain side up. Okay, and there you will fold all of them the same. Okay, then take them and fold them in half again. And by doing that, your score lines should actually meet up on both sides. And then we'll take these ones and we'll fold them in half again. And don't be afraid to varnish them, because that'll only help you in the end. And if you see, I'm varnishing from the middle out. That helps with your point. Okay, so now we've got all 8 pieces folded in half that way and folded in half that way. Okay, so now what you want to do, and it don't matter because you've got like 4 little triangles, just pick 2, and you want to fold up, staying within that score line, just like that, and give that a good varnish. And then go to your next triangle and do the same. Make sure your corners meet down at the bottom. And you're at your score line there. So you'll have that. Just folded them up. Okay? Now turn it over and take it and fold that over to your middle score line. Just like that. And then do the same with this side. Make sure that your point meets in the middle. Just like that. And then just varnish it. So there's one. Okay? And you do the same. And you will fold all 8 the same way. You fold it like that, then turn it over, and then just bring this over to that middle score line. Like that. Make sure your corner or your point comes together and they meet. And give it a good varnish. I could have probably folded some of these ahead of time, but I didn't. So we're just meeting in the middle there, going to that half score line. Giving it a good varnish, turning it over. Bringing it to that middle score line. And giving it a good varnish. And some will fold easier than others. Some you might have to fiddle with a little bit, but for the most part, if you start with your point, they'll fold fairly easy. And we just flip it over. And the more you burnish it, the flatter they'll be, but they do still have some bulk to them. But they will fit into an envelope, flatten into your envelope just fine. And if you don't like all the bulk, then you can always stick some glue down in there and glue them flat. So there's 4, okay, that we folded. That way. Now, here's our other 4 that we folded differently. Okay. You're gonna fold these the exact same one. And I'm trying to keep my fingers out of the way as much as possible. So you can see what I'm doing. Okay. Now, you can see we have the pattern on the outside there and the pattern on the inside there. And then these ones, we have the plain there and the plain there. And that's why I said fold 4 1/2 going one way and 4 folding the opposite way, because that's what gives you your pattern. Okay, only 2 more to fold, and then we can put them on our card. Not hard. Not hard to do at all. Okay. There. And there. So now we've got our 4. Like that. And our 4. Like that. Okay. And you'll want to take your card. And I'm using a 5x7. And right into my ruler. So my card is 5. So I want to put a little mark at 2.5. And a little mark at 2.5. And then I want to put a little mark at 3.5. And a little mark at 3.5. And then I just put my ruler on them half lines on the top and the bottom, and put a little mark at 3.5. Okay. Now, it doesn't matter which 4 you start with, but my personal preference is I like to put the printed ones on top. And put these on first, the plain ones. And all you do, oh, I crinkled that one somehow, there. All you do is just put glue on the back of it, and take it, line up your score line right there with your halfway mark, and put your point on your little mark you made right there. Okay? And press that down. Then take the next one, put glue on it, and I am using a little extra glue because I'm using a embossed background, so I really want it to stick. And I'm doing the same here. I'm lining up my point on that dot and my score line with my halfway mark right there. And then I'll take my next one. And do the same. Put my point on my middle dot and line up my score line with my halfway mark. And then do the same with this one. Line that point up and line up your score line with your middle mark. The best that you can. Just like that. Then you take your other ones and you just slide them in just like that. And you see, that's why I said I like my printed ones to be on top. And then take this one and just do the same thing. Just slide it right on in there. And press it down. Take your next one and I didn't. Got a little bit of glue on my little flap I didn't want glue on. And then just slide that one right in there. You can see how they meet up. And with glue, you can fidget them around a little bit to get them where you want them. And the last one. And you just take it and just slide it right in. And you can do some more varnishing if you want. So, there you go. And I think, and you don't have much of a little space in there. And if you do have a little space in there, that's fine, because you can always take something and stick on there. And I'm just using one of the stickers that was from the paper pack to stick in the middle. Where is that? Yeah, just dump them out. And let's see. What do I have here? I have a little sentiment. Let me see. I think I will put that there. And let's see. What do I have left? Yeah, I think I like that one. Just to give it a little bit more dimension. I'm just gonna stick my sentiment, little sentiment right there. And look like he's going into the flower. So I need to stick him up. And I'm going to double these up. And I am going to put a little bit of glue on them to give them some extra strength. Just like that. And make sure that they are stuck down good. Yeah, two ought to be good. And I'm just going to, because I don't want him to hang off the edge of my card. So that looks good. And make sure that he is stuck down. So there you go. And I can't wait to see what you make, Sherry. And I hope you've enjoyed. And I'll see you tomorrow night on the group. Bye-bye.